Hey guys, it's June 17th, Father's Day, and I wanted to give you guys an update on my car. This Friday I actually put in the new fuel pump and sending unit and got everything assembled on the back there. And I should have done some video on while I had it all out, but honestly my phone was dead and I was trying to get it done. So anyways, I can let you guys know still here what was going on. I pulled out this sending unit right here, this rusty, nasty thing, and that fuel pump right there. So basically, this car was a crossfire fuel injection, so it had EFI, and it was, I guess, a pretty rare option because I tried to find this sending unit and I could not find it for my year model. So I kept searching years later to see if I could find one that was similar to it. Went out on a limb and got one for an 87 Firebird Camaro, whatever. Sorry, they had sending units for 83s. They did not have fuel injection sending units. So I ordered this 87 one, which I'm assuming is for a 2-port injection, and I got it ordered, and it looked identical to that one. The only difference was the wiring harness. So the wiring harness on the new one was actually quite a bit shorter than the old one. So I extended those wires, soldered on the plug back onto it and everything, and the plug that came with the new harness. Put the new Walbro 255 fuel pump, which I also got I got on Summit, and got a direct fit. Said it was for an 87 Camaro, but I wanted the higher fuel pressure. So it was a direct fit, plug and play, super easy. You just slide it in the sending unit and you there's a wiring harness you plug into fuel pump and then into the sending unit. I mean, it was easy. So anyways, I got the plugs right here, and this is the new plug. And unfortunately, sure, it works fine for the 87s, but it does not work for mine. It has a female or a male prong style inside this, just like this end does too. So they don't go together. I have to use the old style plug, so I'm gonna have to cut it off and solder it on there. So if you guys are doing this same swap and buying that sending unit, do that beforehand before you put the tank up there, because I found out later that the plugs were actually different. Because they look the same on the outside. I mean, identical. Like, got it right here. I mean, only thing is, this one, maybe some light right there. No? You can kind of see it. Anyways, this one has a female style plug inside there, metal. Also, I want to give a shout out to Dead President about my transmission mount. I went with the Spohns 4L60E transmission mount and the tubular torque arm. I bought that on Black Friday, so finally got it installed. It only took me a year. So, not really. But anyways, he was having problems with finding a transmission mount that would work for his 82 Camaro. And this is still a 3rd gen F-body. So, I told him that I was about to get mine in. I'll let you know if the spoon fits. So, got it in. Show you guys here. My flashlight. There it is, right there. And it fits. Anyways, it has a lot of adjustment with the slotted screw holes on each side of that mount. So it worked fine. Didn't have a problem getting it in, really, just other than just getting the transmission mounted to it. I still need to get the right screws for it. I'm not sure where they are. It was actually pretty cool. I have extra bolts I got at the salvage for like the heads and stuff for accessories. Same threads as the transmission, so I just threaded a couple of those longer bolts in there just to get the mount in there for now. Anyways, while I had all these parts out, I went ahead and painted them. Probably just saw that a second ago. Powder coated the springs, and I painted the rear end, sway bar, control arms, got all that stuff painted. because I hate taking stuff out and putting it back in nasty. So I'm probably going to replace a lot of those parts underneath there with tubular stuff eventually down the road, but right now I just wanted it to be nice and clean and shiny. So so that's for Dead President, and anyone out there with the 82 to 83, I believe, is the ones that they're having trouble finding transmission mounts for, because I guess the mounting holes are different on these cars than the newer ones. So also something, I mean, I've done so much research on this swap before I did it, and there's little stuff I keep finding out, and I'll go on third gen and, you know, people have already figured out a solution for it or whatever. But I had no idea that my AC box was going to hit my coil pack, or my coil. My last coil on the end of that valve cover was actually rubbing up against the AC when I went to put it in. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to get by with that. I'd like to relocate them. It's just not a good place to put them. So, but yeah, I got my AC box done and put in there. I just cleaned that up and clear coated it whenever I was painting some other little parts. Oh yeah, I also painted this right here, and that I got that stuff all painted. Anyways, next up, I'm gonna be working on the wiring harness, getting the fuel lines ran from the pickup to up here, the sending unit. Sorry, I don't pickup, sending unit, whatever you guys want to call it. So I'm gonna go with the braided fuel line on that. Same thing with the transmission cooling line. So that's next up, is getting the transmission stuff finished and the fuel line stuff finished, and then the wiring harness. So, and also, I don't know if I told you guys this in the original video, I'm gonna make this wiring harness completely custom. I have the original one that came with this motor, and I'm gonna try to make it as clean as possible, and I'm gonna route it the same way the factory computer went in underneath the dash. So that hole over there, right there, right next to that little blower motor, is going to go in the fender and through the firewall underneath the dash. So I'll be able to mount the computer inside on the factory location, and it won't be taken up in my beautiful engine bay. So if you guys have any suggestions on that, please, yeah, comment, let me know. I would like, instead of just extending all those wires and soldering, you know, those 75 wires or whatever it is, I can't remember how many total there are, maybe it's a couple hundred, I don't know. I would like to make some plugs, and I couldn't find any plugs online that were more than like 15 wires each, but I would love it if I could make a disconnect over here, like plugs, and it can be multiple, but I'd like to have it as least as possible, to separate the wiring harness in two places, or in one place, but in two, so I could disconnect them right there at the engine bay, and then that way I could, it'd be easier routing it, and I think it'd be pretty cool to not have to take off the fender to mess with it. I just think that'd be cool to add in there. Anyways, if you guys like what you see, you know, subscribe, and hopefully I'll be getting some more content out of here. I'm trying to get my K-member video done right now. My computer's giving me some trouble. So, anyways, yeah, comment, subscribe, like. You guys do you. Thanks.